I'm a part of the group called, or a theatre company called TML, 10 Minutes Late. And we've been doing different projects. So I have a project with another TML member called Owen, and we've called that Two Sides Same Coin. And that got taken to pilot night, and that's all about exploring the correlation between race and class in the UK. We did a project during lockdown called Virtually Friends, which was a digital media project. So yeah, and then we did that on Twitch so that the audience could interact with which way the story went. So that was interesting. I've done a lot of stuff at uni doing different things. We took tours around the West Midlands. We've been to the Art Tricks, we've been to Malvern Cube. Yeah, we did. I've done TED Talks for the Worcester CEP. Yeah, and that was good. That was all about the importance of drama in schools and performing arts in schools, and I'm quite passionate about that. I'm part of the Young Producers group with Hannah at the Worcester Arts Workshop, and it was with Worcester Arts Workshop that I got the chance to do the TED Talks. The Black Lives Matter movement is a really important movement to me because obviously I am black, and these things are things that have affected my life from the day I was born. Skin color, racism, all this kind of stuff is stuff that I'm quite used to. And I think because Worcester is quite a white dominated city, it's even more important that the message gets out here, because they might think, or the people of Worcester, the community of Worcester might think that it doesn't involve them because obviously there isn't that many black people here. But I think that is the complete opposite. I think because there's not that many black people here, they may need to hear a voice that is a bit closer to home. And if that's my voice, then I'm glad. And if Worcester Arts Workshop give me that platform to do that, then it's even better. And I'm always grateful for that kind of stuff. I think it's challenging for me in the sense of this is something that I've always thought that I could do, but I've never actually done it, or it's not a thing that I normally do in public spaces or to public. It's normally a thing that I keep to myself or that I will do with like an inner circle. So I think it's a bit challenging for me because it's something new that now this is going to be broadcasted, and I don't know how many people are going to see this. I think another thing that's challenging about it is because it is quite personal. A lot of this stuff is coming from my own experience. It's coming from my words. So because I may not be speaking eloquently to some people, or I may not be speaking the way that other people may, it may be a bit challenging because it's a different perspective. But I still think my perspective is valid. Yes, it definitely will. And I think because Black Lives Matter is such a prominent thing now, I think it will always be a thing that's in my work. Because I think what the Black Lives Matter movement has done is kind of reminded me that I should always be aware of my skin tone. And it sounds bad, but that's just kind of like the way it is. So, yeah, I think it will always remind me that if I'm speaking, I am still speaking as a black man. So the Black Lives Matter will always keep that in my head. So when I am making work, if it's about race, if it's about anything, I will have to keep that in mind. I think the first time I ever performed was I did a primary school show called the Bad Tempered Ladybird, and I played the Bad Tempered Ladybird, and it's a book. So if you wish, please get the book. But it's about a ladybird that went and always tried to fight things that were bigger than it. And as I'm quite small, it was quite ironic because that is now my life. But yeah, so I did. I think that was the first time I ever performed, but like professionally performed. The first time I ever performed may have been the Edinburgh Fringe, because at part of uni we went to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, and we performed our show called The Tryhards, which we created with the uni's help, but it was our show. And then yeah, we did that for the festival for the whole month. So I think that might be the first time that I performed professionally. I wanted to be a basketball player or a football player or something like that because I'm quite sporty, as you Jersey as well. But yeah, that was the goal for me. Yeah, but that kind of changed, and then from about year seven, I knew I wanted to do drama. I didn't know what it was, if it was teaching or what, but I always knew I wanted to do some kind of drama, theatre, something like that. I think it may be Tryhards. I think the one that we took to Edinburgh Fringe. I think because we worked with some playwrights and things like that to help us, and I think the the performance of it wasn't the best bit, but the creation of it, because it taught us so much and it taught us so many different things about the industry that we're all trying to get into. It was a really good experience, and then I got to experience the Edinburgh Fringe Festival for the first time, so that was also really cool. I'm always appreciative of all the other things that people have done before me to help me get to my places. But my goal is to always be the best. My goal is to always be the one that in 5 years people are saying my name to answer this question. So I don't really know if I look up to many people. I think the people that I look up to is more my mum and my dad. But if I had to give somebody at the moment, I think I'm going with John Boyega. I think his story of Peckham, of middle class, I mean, of working class, sorry, of the grit and grind that he had to put in to get where he is and to be in Star Wars now, I think probably John Boyega. Play basketball. Yeah, I think that's my thing. Basketball or play my PlayStation. And if I'm playing my PlayStation, I'm playing a basketball game on my PlayStation. So thank you for the opportunity, and I think it's going to be great. And I hope that it does move some people, and I hope it does touch some people and affect their lives because that's the end goal, really.